Hello! A new video is in the works, a critical analysis of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And as you can probably tell from the title of this video, it's quite the positive analysis. Once completed, the video will go up as planned, but it's taking longer to put together than I originally estimated. A lot longer. So, I've decided to release the video in sections. This will provide my viewers with content, will hopefully keep the channel alive during the editing process, and will prime everyone as to what to expect from the full video prior to release. Keep in mind that these were meant to be part of a single whole, so there will be incomplete analyses and a lack of conclusions in some parts. Once the full video is out, there will be follow-up videos inspired by it, including another Godzilla vs. Kong analysis. Yay! And one last thing. This introduction will be at the start of each video, so if you want to skip it next time, slide on over to this time here. Right, all that said, I hope you enjoy this section of what will become Godzilla, King of the Monsters. A great joy. I did say there were two meetings, didn't I? The other meeting is between Monarch and the US military, and they are at a loss as to what to do. The big G is dead, and they have tried their plan from 2014 to no avail. Mark gives some advice, and I like the way Mark talks to Admiral Stenz here.
We are running out of options. Excuse me, do you have something to add?
If I may, sir.
It stands in stark contrast to the way he talked to the Monarch team earlier.
We'll ship out to launch a joint operation.
I wouldn't bother.
Excuse me?
Sounds like a duck hunt to me.
Excuse me, do you have something to add?
If I may, sir.
It shows his respect for the man, the military, and the government he represents. It also shows his appreciation for them, as voiced earlier.
The military launched a weapon. It's gonna kill them both.
Well, that's not the worst idea.
Something that may be important later, maybe. Anyway, Mark offers his knowledge on animal behaviour, but beyond that there is not much he can do. He's done all he can, but it's not enough. And with his world in turmoil, both metaphorically and actually, he falls on bad habits and tries to get away from it all. To go it alone, as it were. He wants to save his daughter, and up until now his best hope was with Monarch. With King Ghidorah, drawing all the attention, that hope is gone, and soon him as well. Coleman tries to dissuade him.
Wait! What are you doing? I can't just sit down there. I gotta do something. Like, go find my daughter. It's the only thing I got left, Sam. I wasn't there for her. Not gonna let that happen again.
Seeing Mark can't be reasoned with, Coleman lets him go. But just like how the low point after Ghidorah's rise to power is relieved by her emergence, Mothra once again appears to bring a ray of hope to the scene. I say a ray. Mothra's arrival brings hope, and retinal burns, to Team Monarch, letting them know the Big G is not dead. A plan is made. Use the nuclear weapon to revitalize Godzilla. To
bring Godzilla back from the dead.
And whilst the military makes plans to fight Ghidorah, a submarine is launched to find Godzilla. The name of the submarine? USS Scorpion. Not only is this a reference to the frog and the scorpion fable from earlier, but it is also the name of one of many submarines that mysteriously sank in 1968. This is not only a reference to historical events, but also a possible, subtle implication for the Monsterverse. Inside the submarine, Mark and Serizawa have a quiet chat. They discuss Mark's son, Mark's loathing of Godzilla, demons and faith, and nature's purpose.
You told me 5 years ago I'd be trying to save the thing that took my son.
Sometimes the only way to heal our wounds is to make peace with the demons who created them. There's some things beyond our understanding, Mark. We must accept them and learn from them. These moments of crisis are also potential moments of faith. Nature always has a way of balancing itself. The only question is, what part will we play?
All topped off with a joke.
Did you just make that up?
I already did a fortune cookie once. a really long fortune cookie.
It's one of those moments that might pass you by if you're not paying attention. It comes between action, drama, conflict and chaos that will overshadow the exchange, but the words spoken here have significance both for the characters and for future events. It is the sharing of old treasured memories. It is Mark coming to terms with the situation. It is two old friends who, until recently, had not spoken for a long time. Alas, the quiet chat is interrupted by turbulence, and the sub is dragged into a vortex, only to re-emerge hundreds of miles away.
I knew it, man! The vortex was a tunnel into the hollow earth. Knew I was right. I told you, Ken.
Shut up, Rick.
Investigating the area reveals a long-lost, submerged city, festooned with statues, murals, and wrecked ships.
If only the earth and stones could speak the stories they could tell us.
地球は記憶する。石が記憶する。聞き方さえ分かれば彼らは多くのことを教えてくれるだろう。
This is the city of the first human civilization, one that worshipped titans as gods. Here is where Godzilla has come to rest, to heal, to regain strength naturally from the radioactive fissure deep in the earth. But just as human urgency caused Godzilla to retreat to this safe place, so too will it require this process of healing to be sped up. The world is coming to an end up on the surface, and there is no time for lions. Unfortunately, the vortex that brought the submarine to this ancient place also damaged it in many ways, one of which being the launching mechanisms for the nukes. With no other recourse, Zerazawa makes the decision. He is the head of Monarch, the man in charge, the one who makes all the decisions, and the one with the most responsibility. He could not ask anyone else to make such a sacrifice, nor would he. He has too much respect for life to ask someone to throw theirs away instead. With a last goodbye and entrusting his notebook to his old colleague Mark, someone whose shared history has been hinted at throughout this film, Zerazawa sets off to meet the creature that has been the focus of his life for so many years. Climbing the steps that so many worshippers of the great beast had climbed before, Zerazawa brings his offering before the Great One, and as a last act, this small human figure, this tiny being, places his hand upon Godzilla.
Saraba. Tomoyo.
The shock wave of the explosion helps push the submarine to the surface, followed by Godzilla in what can only be described as an epic display. And yes, it does look silly for Goji to be standing in the water here. Make your arguments for and against, but honestly this is purely for nostalgia. It is reminiscent of every time Godzilla stood knee-deep in the open ocean for no other reason than it was a man in a suit in a paddling pool. Visually recreated here, this is purely for the fans and for the lols. Back to the plot, the entire Monarch team reassembles with one notable exception. Mark's conversation with Zerazawa and the close encounter with the scaly kind, no, not like that, stop it, no, has inspired him, and he makes the break in the case that will lead everyone to the final fight.
But we haven't been able to pinpoint the exact location without the missing piece of the Orca signal.
I've got the missing piece. It's us. Emma combined the bioacoustics of Godzilla with a human. That's how she made the signal for the Orca.
He also makes another decision.
What about Mo, Larry, and Curly over here?
Godzilla will bring balance.
Sarazawa, let him fight action.
No, this time we join the fight.
Mark has made a realization, has been enlightened if you will, that his earlier belligerence towards the Titans was misplaced, and he now knows man and monster must work together for the greater good. This leads us back to the stadium, to Ghidra and Madison, and to the final confrontation of the film.
Is this guy still bothering you?
From Fort Bravo to the underwater temple, this part of the film has a lot of religious connotations to it. Mothra appearing as a blinding light, an angel guiding the lost to the path of salvation, a good, faithless man being advised by one deeply faithful, a pilgrimage to an ancient place of worship, making an offering and a sacrifice to a godlike figure in the belief of bringing about positive change. This could thematically coincide with the military failing to take on Ghidorah alone, the devil not susceptible to man, only God. Funnily enough, this could also be used to explain one of the bigger issues people have with the film. Serizawa needn't have been killed here. There was nothing stopping the submarine turning around, rising to the surface and asking for help. They could have gone back to base, got another submarine or fixed the one they had, then returned to the temple and nuked Godzilla from a safe distance. Ghidorah would have been distracted long enough by the orca that the world would still be there to be saved by the time Goji rose to face him down. Granted, Madison would have died, in which case we'd need to ask whether Madison dying is better than Serizawa dying. But all this is with hindsight, with the full knowledge of what's going on. The submarine team don't have all the information. They are ignorant of the situation on the surface. As far as this lot know, Ghidorah is terraforming the Earth as they stand there discussing what to do. The Titans wrecking cities and stomping on people. They don't know where they are, how long it will take to be rescued, or if there will even be anyone to rescue them. They are operating on blind faith, and it is this that leads them to, well, make a sacrifice to an ancient god. That sounds kind of weird when I put it like that. There is also a discussion about the social political aspects of one particular action, one particular decision.
Our weapon systems were damaged during the crash. We can't launch.
What if we go inside, set a timer?
No way. If the heat doesn't fry you, the radiation will.
I go.
A Japanese man using a nuclear weapon to save the day sounds a bit off out of context. Even in context, it can feel a bit iffy. But King of the Monsters doesn't throw this in out of nowhere. Serizawa already balked at the idea of using nuclear weapons in 2014, even showing his dark connection to them.
It stopped.
8:15 in the morning, August 6, 1945.
Hiroshima.
It was my father's.
When a similar weapon is used, he is once again against its use. He may even be as belligerent to nuclear weapons as Mark is to the Titans. But this action is not a political statement. It is the reality of the world they live in, the circumstances of their situation, and possibly even an inevitability. The Titans feed on radiation after all. Moreover, it is a spiritual statement, as Serizawa pointed out earlier when talking to Mark.
Sometimes the only way to heal our wounds is to make peace with the demons who created them.
Nuclear weapons, and indeed nuclear pollution, have done terrible things in the past, but holding on to that stigma can prevent positive change in the present. This event, and this film, shows that even the most terrible of things can be used for good. One cannot let a good future falter because of the wrongs of the past. Thank you for watching this part of Godzilla King of the Monsters, a great joy. Videos will follow on a, hopefully, regular basis until the video is out, so look forward to those. Whilst you're waiting, why not visit my Etsy store and peruse some esoteric pendants, link in the description. Feel free to do all the YouTube stuffs and leave a comment if you have one. Who knows? Maybe you'll have an effect on the finished video before it's released. Once again, thank you for watching.